Just like all other living things require shelter for them to survive or live well or live a good life, in this segment you're going to be looking at different beehives, how they are made, and the different tools needed at the bee farm. We have an expert, Mr. George, who's going to be taking us through this whole process.
For starters, it is easier to start with the Kenya top bar hive as compared to the Langstroth hive. But if you are going to put this on large scale, it would require someone who is going to invest in some good sums of money, like between 15 million and above. Whereas the KTB, even if you started with the 50 hives, you are looking at around you are looking at 5,500,000. That is for around 50 hives. Here at Bee House, we do different types of beehives, and what you are seeing here is the KTB hive, and below it is actually the Langstroth hive. Now, in the KTB hive, you can see this is the cover. This cover helps us to control the water entering the hive when it rains. So from there, what you're seeing here, these are the top bars. The top bars are actually the ones that hold the comb, the honeycomb. So these top bars are on top of the hive. And so our hives, we usually put wax to attract the bees. So you can see the entrance here. This is where the bees enter from in a top bar hive. It is usually triangular in shape. And why it is called the Kenya top bar hive is simply because the technology was copied from Kenya. So you harvest 2 times a year with this type of hive. And simply because when you are harvesting, you cut the comb, so the bees take a longer period of time. And then we also have the lower hive. This one, that's the Langstroth hive. And the Langstroth hive has 2 chambers. As you can see, it has 2 boxes. The smaller box, which is the honey chamber, and the lower box, which is the brood chamber. Now, the brood chamber is where the queen lays eggs, and it is actually the multiplication box. The queen lays eggs, and more of the multiplication of bees is. And then from the brood box, we have a queen excluder. Now, this wire mesh you see here restricts the queen in going to this box, which is the honey box. So they don't want the queen to lay eggs up here, because this is simply a box for honey only. So the queen is restricted to only down. Now, the advantage of this hive is that since the honey is separated from the young ones, it actually encourages people to be harvesting more honey compared to other hives. So as you see, each box has frames. So the honey box, this frame would be full of what? Honey only. And the way we extract this hive is we have to use a centrifuge extractor. Now, the centrifuge extractor will extract honey without destroying the honeycomb. That's why we put these wires to hold the comb firmly. As you extract, the comb is not destroyed. So that makes someone harvest more times compared to the other types of hives. So in this hive, you harvest 3 or 4 times. So that is the advantage. But mainly, the concentration is on honey and not wax. So the other hives, you can harvest wax, honey, but in this one, you only concentrate on harvesting more honey. So that is the advantage. Usually, you harvest between 10 to 15 kilos per harvest. So that will be times 3 times a year. So you are likely to get between 30 to 45 kilos.
Which one works for someone for small scale farmer?
Yeah, for small scale, compared to the prices, of course, this one is a bit expensive. It's 200,000 compared to the KTB, which is 110,000.
Okay, I'm asking which one favors rearing from home?
Now, for starters, it is easier to start with the Kenya top Beehive as compared to the Langstroth hive. But if you are going to put this on large scale, it would require someone who is going to invest in some good sums of money, like between 15 million and above. Whereas the KTB, even if you started with the 50 hives, you are looking at around you are looking at 5,500,000. That is for around 50 hives.
And now we have different types of equipment also that are used at the bee farm. We have a smoker here, and Mr. Joe is going to explain to us how to make a smoker and its uses.
Yeah, the smoker, we start by making the pump, which is this. So we actually get 2 pieces of timber and drill these holes. These holes actually we put in the nuts, and from there we connect the spring, which you can see here. So this spring will help to actually connect the 2 pieces of wood, which will actually help us to do the pump, which you can see here. And now this pump is connected to, this head here, as you can see. And now this is where we put the hot charcoal and put the smoker fuel. And then this pump will actually help us to smoke, so that smoke can come out, and then when you smoke the bees will come down. Or they actually, sometimes they get confused and fail to communicate to one another. So that can help you to access what you want in the hive without getting a lot of disturbances.
So show us how do you come up with this pump?
You can see we get 2 materials. We get the hard material here, which is the canvas, and then we also get the leather material, which we use to cover on the 2 pieces of timber. As you can see, here is the spring, which will hold the 2 pieces of timber so that it can help to pump. This is closed and then made fine. Then we also add another cloth. We add another cloth here so that it can prevent air from coming out, apart from the main outlet, which is here. So that is how the pump is made.
So tell us, what makes it different from the traditional ones that people use?
This is easy to use because you just place, and then the spring will help the air to come through. Yeah. So katikano this is a complete smoker. Era smoke eno tugikozesa nga tugenda either ku inspectinga muzinga oba nga tugenda ku harvestinga muzinga. So smoke eno you put, actually with this smoker you put hot charcoal, then you put fuel, which is like dry cow dung. You can also put pine leaves. You can use coffee peelings. You can use the maize combs. You can also use pine leaves. So after putting the pine leaves, then you close the smoker. You start to pump. The smoke will start coming out. So when you are at your hive, you put the smoker at the entrance of the holes of the hive, and then you start smoking the entrances. When you smoke, the bees will run inside, but the smoke will also be entering inside. So they will be forced to be eating some honey. So by the time they come out, they will have they would have come down. You smoke the entrance of the hive, like for 10 to 15 minutes, and then first leave the bees. They will go inside and try to eat the honey. Then you smoke again, so that will calm the bees down. By the time you open, they will have actually calmed down.
What is the specific way of taking care of these beehives?
Now, the best, of course, the best way of taking care of these hives is to put them on stands, metallic stands. You can easily control the pests, and it is easier to work with them when they are a little closer to each other, other than hanging one on one end and then you move another 200 meters, you hang another one. That one only helps you to attract the bees. But as long as the bees have entered, it's better when you put them in one confinement.
How safe are the bees when they're inside there? Because we have this effect of the sun, the rain.
Now they are very safe. As you can see, the cover will protect the bees, water from entering the bees, and also the cover is made in a way that it will control the heat, so the heat does not go direct into the hive. So they are controlled because of the what? Of this cover.
Yeah. Yes. When we talk about honey production, which one produces more? Like,
of course, definitely it's this Langstroth who produce more honey compared to the KTB hive.
And how, like, the capacity of bees that can be?
Usually, if it's a very strong colony, you may have up to between 50 to 60,000 bees in one hive, but one queen. Yes. And the drones are usually few, below 500.
Yes, when you come to the market, how much do you sell, like one? How much can a farmer get? Like?
Do you mean the hive?
Yeah, the hives.
Yeah, one hive will cost 200,000, that is the Langstroth, and one KTB will cost around 100, between 100 to 110.
Yes, there are some farmers who are still like stuck in the other traditional ways of keeping bees. They put like they make them be on trees, in some whatever. So tell them the difference between
the difference between the modern hives and working with the modern hives and the traditional, and also the setup.
Yeah.
The traditional ways of working with bees is not commercial. Because people who concentrate on traditional hives, usually the traditional hives don't last long. But also separating one hive here to the other one, if you have 1,000 hives, or if you have 500 hives, it may be difficult for you to harvest in a short period of time. But in the modern setup, you find 100 hives can fit in 1 acre, and then it will take a short period of time to harvest. But also inspecting, controlling pests becomes very easy because it's in a short, it's in a smaller place.